If you're anything like me, you love Jesus and you love others, but sharing the gospel is intimidating. It's scary. I'm afraid they won't like me. So one of the things Texas Baptist has done is started up a ministry called Greenhouse, where we take families, we talk about those fears, and we talk about what it's like to love our neighbors. And we do so in ways that are simple and easy and reachable for 5-year-olds and 85-year-olds alike. And they talk about these things all together. And the very best part is they go home still talking about those things. So that's what we're doing with Greenhouse. What is it? It helps you share the gospel with others. You don't have to take my word for it. Listen to a few families and their experiences at Greenhouse.
When we were invited to Greenhouse, we were expecting a lot of long sermons and a lot of long teaching.
We were kind of expecting to go to a normal service, so where there's going to be preaching going on and you sit and listen, but it actually turned out to be the total opposite.
I knew it was going to be fun. I knew it was going to be a great time, but what I really experienced there was just a time for us as a family to come together, to learn together. We got to spend time worshiping together.
I'll never forget the feeling of the family or the body of Christ, in a sense that we had a great diversity, a great activity that brought the family together. So it felt like there was a whole community coming together.
We had fun during the sessions because all the sessions are geared toward kids. So they're like 7 to 8 minutes long. They're super interactive and they use a lot of props. So during those sessions, it was just great to laugh, to learn, to just kind of cut up with each other.
So we knew going into Greenhouse that we would have opportunities to learn how to share the gospel, but we are much more intentional now in the ways that we are actually sharing the gospel with our neighbors.
It doesn't have to be complicated. You can just start by knowing your neighbor, wishing them good, dropping some cookies or something to them, just to show them the love of God.
Yeah, something that changed my perspective in how we share the gospel in our home is by utilizing every room or every space in our house. And so we've become a lot more intentional in the way that we place our home, how we try to put as many chairs around the table as possible, not let somebody sit on the couch by themselves.
One of the ways that I knew it was real and changes were happening when we got home was the way my boys were interacting with neighbors. It was as if God was using them to open the door for us to meet more neighbors. Stephen actually would just stop and wave at people, and I would kind of try to scurry them into the house, and God was like, no, I'm going to use this whole family to actually reach this neighborhood.
It's typical in church that the ministries are divided by age and by gender, and which that certainly has its place. But what's special about Greenhouse is that you are together through everything all day as a family.
So my experience at Greenhouse was so sweet. It was incredible. My whole family was there. My grandmother, my parents, my sister, and it really started a ripple effect. My nephew keeps asking, are we going to go back to Greenhouse? And so we're excited to make it a family tradition and really something that we can carry on for the next few years, but also into our neighborhoods and into the corners of the world that God's put us in.
I think if you value your family, keeping a united family, I encourage you guys to go to Greenhouse because it will change your life.
I would encourage you as a pastor, make sure that you make this a priority for your church. You will not regret it.
We'd love to have you at Greenhouse so that we would have the opportunity to help you share the good news with others.
Come